Welcome to this week's episode of the Dirt Subies podcast. This week, we have a fantastic, wonderful, very special guest for you guys. I think you guys are really going to enjoy this. My friend Carter jumped on for a call with me, and I really enjoyed this one because we actually did not know each other until like 30 minutes before recording this. So he messaged me on Instagram and was like, hey, I'd love to talk about my car at some point. So I was like, say less, fool. Get on here. What are you doing right now? Let's get on a call. We recorded and I really enjoyed this conversation. I thought it was really good. Talking about the car, we talk about life, talk about a lot of different stuff. Now, before we jump into that, I want to remind you guys that you can check out the Subi and You podcast if you would like more Subaru related content in podcast form. You can find him over on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, pretty much wherever you listen. Definitely check him out. He's been killing it for years now. Also, I am extremely honored, grateful, and thankful to have Melee Design Firm as a supporter of the Dirt Subies podcast. And the way that they're supporting us is by giving you guys a 10% off coupon code or discount code, whatever you want to call it, by going to meleedesignfirm.com and using the code DIRTSUBIES at checkout. You guys will actually get 10% off your whole order. So whether it's battery boxes, batteries, tie downs, engine bay caps, strut tower braces, all sorts of stuff. They got it. They got it for our cars, and their stuff is sick. I've been running their stuff for almost 5 years now and absolutely love it. And now I'm super thankful to have them as a supporter. So let's go ahead and jump into this. Cool. Let's freaking jump the heck in right now. So we got the homie Carter on the block right now.
Hello.
We're gonna talk about some Subaru stuff. Sounds like we got some things to discuss. This is our first time meeting. We've never talked up until just a little bit ago on Instagram. And we don't script anything here, so we're going to see where this goes. Dude, good to meet you. Thanks for jumping on short notice, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries. It's nice to meet you too. It was, like you said, very unexpected and very short notice. But, the world aligns in mysterious ways, and here we are.
Heck yeah, brother. Well, I was wondering if, just to start out, if you could tell us what your current Subaru is.
My current Subaru is my 2018 Subaru Crosstrek premium triv level. And we just passed the other day 100,000 miles.
That's what I like to hear.
She's taking a beating, but she lives on.
Heck yeah. Put some kilos on her, dude. I love it.
Exactly.
What transmission did you get? If it's the premium, it's got the CVT?
Unfortunately, so. I bought it in 2021.
Okay.
No, 2020. No, 2021.
The haze of the pandemic, it's all the same. It blurs together.
Exactly. And I was looking for a new car because I had a 2008 Honda Fit. Loved that car, but it had so many problems, and I was just like about ready to write it off. And I was searching and searching and searching. I actually wanted the khaki blue. Okay. But during that time, as you know, used cars were all the rage. And it was nearly impossible to try to find a used car that was like decently priced. Yeah. And the only khaki blue Crosstrek I could find at the time, and I'm in California, was in Florida. And it had a $5,000 markup. And they wanted $3,000 to send it to California. And I said, oh, that's not even worth it. So
yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good. So I kept looking, and I found who is now nicknamed Alice. Gray, silver, metallic, I think is the paint color.
DGM or?
I think, yeah, dark gray metallic. Thank you.
Yeah, dude, DGM is a sick. I worked for Subaru at that time when that code was all the rage. So.
Right on. It's popular. I see so many that same color, and everyone calls it black. I'm like, it's not black.
It's DGM, you nerds. No, good choice, man. Because I think the DGM still gives like the look of being like a black paint code, but
right.
It still shows body lines without being that straight black that just scuffs and shows all kinds of imperfections real easy.
Right.
Good choice, my friend.
I love it, and I try to take care of that paint for so long, and then when I hit my first trail and I got my first pinstripe, I'm like, all right, time to write that off.
Yeah. Just detail it before you sell it, if you ever sell it. Little cut and buff.
Oh man, I can't even think about the day that I have to sell it. If I decide to sell it, that's going to be oof.
We'll
Let's
just
hope not.
pretend. Yeah, we'll just pretend that that's not a thing.
Yeah. Sell. I never heard of the word.
Yeah. Yeah, I've bought and sold way too many cars, so unfortunately, I'm a little too familiar. But I get it. I get it. A couple questions here, but first, man, I honestly don't think you made a bad decision with the CVT. Everybody hates on them; they get a bad rap. But honestly, man, for anything off pavement, an automatic transmission of any sort, even though the CVTs have a notorious reputation, that's the way to go. So much better than burning clutches up left and right. So you're
Honestly.
not going to catch any hate from me, brother.
Okay.
Not at all. Not at all. Both my rigs are automatics. My daily is a 5-speed, and I've always owned 5-speeds. But then when I started getting bigger tires and going off road, I was like, not going to
Yeah.
handle this automatic or auto tragic, as they call it. We're just gonna.
I've never heard that. I love that.
Oh, for real?
Auto tragic.
Yeah, I've
That's
heard it
really
way
good.
too much, dude. Yeah. I was gonna ask though, what is there kind of like a pivotal moment in your life where you sort of became like a car enthusiast or anything, or is it more of a recent thing?
From what I've heard from my parents and everything like that, I was born and raised into it. My parents will both tell you that my first word was truck. I kid you not. And I remember my first toy. It was one of those pullback cars that you launch and it just
Yes.
goes. It was a Volkswagen Beetle. And it turns out that that was actually my first car. It was a 74 Volkswagen Super Beetle. And ever since then, man, cars have been just, I mean, my name's Carter. So, you know.
Yeah, that's tight, dude. I love that. Yeah. Yeah, for me, I remember seeing when I was a real little kid, I saw Dodge Vipers for the first time. And I remember being like, what is that? I'm 6 years old. Now I'm a car. You know what I mean? I
Right.
could never own one of these, but then it was just downhill from there, bro. Like, didn't matter what it was. Like, just been into it ever since.
It's a good hobby, but you know what's funny? I feel like it's more expensive than drugs. And I
It
hate
is.
saying that.
I would be 25 pounds lighter, way more cut, and still have money left over if I was a meth addict right now.
Oh no, don't give anyone ideas. That's not at all. No.
Yeah, don't do those. Don't do drugs.
No.
I grew up in the Portland area though, so it was pretty much everywhere, where I grew up. So I got to see firsthand the downsides of drug habits.
Right. Yeah, that's a good way to be like, "Ooh, no thanks, not for me."
Yeah, man, no thank you at all. Speaking of which, what you don't have to, give any identifying information at all or anything, but what part of the country are you in?
I'm in California, San Diego region to be a little less
Nice.
specific.
Yeah.
Born and raised in a small town called Fallbrook, and the car culture in California is so rich. Like it's so, I wouldn't say welcoming. It depends on which part of the culture you get into, but
Mhm.
it's so rich in like every corner you turn. There's like a classic, Nova, or you turn a corner and there's like the souped up STI, and
Yeah.
it's really good.
That's kind of what I found. It depends on, what you're into as to how polite and welcoming the community is. I'm a huge Subaru fan. I've been driving them for about 20 years,
Right
but
on.
up until recently, that was kind of all I've owned. But I started driving Jeeps because I really wanted to start doing real stupid stuff. And the Jeep community is kind of up my alley in like the ignorant sense, just like, everybody's like, F you, suck it, like, which is kind of funny to just be like straight up like, just ragging on each other. The Subaru community, I don't think I've ever been around a group of people that are more just like, oh, cool. Like you drive a lifted Crosstrek, I drive like a 700 wheel horsepower STI, but hey, we're homies,
Right.
like,
It's the love of the boxer, man. That
yeah,
boxer.
let's jump right the frick into the mods.
So on paper or on my LCD screen, it doesn't sound like a whole lot, but a lot of where all this time and blood, literally blood, sweat, and tears, all went into was mainly the suspension, because we talked about it a little bit. I wanted to start doing overlanding, and I thought that was the coolest thing ever. Oh, Subaru doing overlanding, and I had so many people tell me you need this, and that. I'm like, but I see these Subarus kind of doing it, and it kind of looks cool, and it's half the price. So why wouldn't I? And well, come to find out, yeah, sure, it's half the price until you modify it, and then it's really, really not half the price at all.
Yeah.
So
No,
now
you're
I just kind of
You're right.
It's yeah. So now I just do kind of like Rallycross here and there. I'm trying to get more into it. I just did my first race not too long ago up in Ridgecrest,
Let's go.
and I
Congrats, brother.
thank you. Placed seventh out of my class. How many people were in that? I think there was like 30 some odd people in my class. I'd have to fact check that, but seventh is not bad for a tiny little Crosstrek against all these, like built out cars. I was just like, whoa, I'm so cool. No,
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Well, I don't want to interrupt too much, but I got to ask a little bit. Your Rallycross experience, what were some of the most challenging aspects of just the event itself, and then prepping for the event, and then just getting into it in general? Because that seems like a real big undertaking for a lot of people. I've never done any Rallycross or autocross, but
right.
what was that whole experience like for you?
Because literally I was just doom scrolling Instagram and I clicked on a story and it was like, hey, you should come out to this. Like, this is going to happen. And I'm like, oh, that actually looks cool. I wonder if I'd be any good at that. And of
Yeah.
course, everyone and their mother was like, oh, you have to do that. That's going to be so cool. That's going to be legendary. You're going to have so much fun. And I'm over here like, well, I do have two cars. I don't really do much with the Crosstrek at the moment. So maybe I could. So yeah, I was like, okay, whatever. How far is it? 5 hour drive. I'm like, I don't really want to drive this, Subaru Crosstrek on a 4-inch lift that gets 12 miles to the gallon with a full on exhaust on it. That's super loud and droning for 5 hours. So I was
Yeah.
like, hey, bestie, what are you doing? And she's like, not much. I'm like, you want to make a 5 hour trip up to Ridgecrest and get a truck and trailer and just see what happens at this rally event? And she was like, oh, dude, this sounds right up our alley. So, not knowing what to get into, I'm buying all these things I don't need. Like I bought comms and I bought like all these silly things. Come to
Yeah.
find out, they were actually extraordinarily useful. But I mean, like, I guess I wouldn't have known really what I would have needed until I got there after the race because, like, some small stuff broke. Like the front axles decided that was the time that they wanted to just snap. And I'm like, okay, well, at least it was after the race. That's okay. But having spare parts is definitely key, I think, to any race,
Mhm.
especially suspension, engine, drivetrain, like interior parts, but whatever. I mean, that's not going to win a race, but
Yeah. Throw them out the window.
exactly. But like when I was done, and it was like I think 89 degrees outside, and the car was hot. Like it was hot inside the car, and I'm
Yeah.
in a helmet, and I'm in like this full on like suit, and I don't have the AC on because I'm trying to convert like 2 horsepower, and I'm just like I'm like
Yeah.
drenched in sweat. And at the end, I just get out, and I'm so covered in dust because the track got dry because the water trucks broke down, and it
Okay.
was so dry and dusty. And I got out and I just look at my best friend who's sitting there, and she looks like she's just about ready to just fall asleep because she's so sunburnt. And we're looking to ourselves and we're like, I think I'm ready to go home. And she's like, I've been ready to go home for hours. I've just been waiting you to turn off the car and get it on the trailer. I'm just like, yeah. So, food, drinks, coolers, tents. I've learned all this. This is going to be at the next event. So
Yeah. Yeah.
oh, and my keys to my trailer hitch, because if you see in some of the pictures I have on my Instagram, you could see that I have this full spare tire carrier on there. It's because I forgot the keys to unlock the lock that holds it onto the hitch.
Dude.
I was like, no, oh,
That's
so
Hey, it
yeah,
happens to the best of us, man. And I love that, dude. I love that you just jumped into it like, hey, never done this before. I'm just gonna rent a truck and trailer and we're gonna send it. Dude, that's sick. That's
I
that's
I'm
the
I'm 23, and I was like, I am not going to have much time on this earth, and if I'm going to go out, I'm going to go out in style. That's
yes,
right.
dude.
So it was such an experience. Like,
Mhm.
it's scary, but it's so worth it. Like, I highly recommend anyone just to try it once. Even like they do it down here in San Diego now. They just started doing it again, so it's so worth it.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I can't think of a single thing in my life that I can still think back on, that had any sort of real life changing impact and be like, wow, that was easy to do. Nothing.
Right.
Whether it's like, fitness or school or work or just anything, buying a house, it's all hard, all of it.
It
But
is.
It sounds like I need to get into Rallycross.
I always say if you're gonna try it at least once.
Yeah,
You can't
yeah,
hate it if you don't try it. So.
right. That's right. Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to drag you off on a crazy tangent, but I think that
Oh,
was
you're good.
good, and hopefully we can encourage people to, because I feel like so many people are just hesitant in life, whether it's starting a business or trying a new thing, and giving people maybe that little push to just get out there. And man, you don't want to be 89 years old laying in a nursing home like, wish I'd have done Rallycross.
Right? Exactly.
We just never know how much time we've really got. So yeah, I love that, man. That's rad. But yeah, so sorry. Let me
Oh,
hand it back over to you. And
I forgot. It was about the list.
yeah, go ahead and you can jump back into that before I cut you off.
Oh no, you're all good. I think it was partially me that went on a tangent on that as well because I was just like, "Ooh, Rallycross."
I asked you to, and I was very happy that I did. So we're good, but it's all you.
So some stuff I always tell people too. Some stuff you don't have to buy new. Some stuff it's
Mhm.
not worth buying new. Some stuff on this list I've bought used,
Mhm.
just like slightly used, and it's been so awesome. People are like, "Where'd you get that?" I'm like, Facebook Marketplace.
Yep.
That's my. I love Facebook Marketplace. Should be a dealer on there, man.
You have no idea.
So right now I have it on a Ironman 4x4 2-inch lift.
Okay.
I have loved them for a very long time, but they're the Spec C and it's way too stiff. I'm gonna switch it out eventually for flat out suspension, but I've heard mixed reviews. But I'm a man to try it myself, so I'm gonna go for it and just commit to
Love
the bit. And
love that, dude.
it's
Same here. I've actually just recorded a video this morning, and I said the exact same thing you just did. I've heard mixed reviews, but you just we gotta give them a chance and see how it
life
turns.
is about the experience, man. It's all about the experience.
100%. Love that.
So, and then to stop the car, I have R1 Concepts slotted and drilled rotors.
Okay.
They have a black ionized, whatever.
Iodine? And
Iodized, thank you.
I don't
One of
actually know.
them, they're black.
Something dies.
Something diced. And a lot of people have told me, like, oh, those are so bad for like off roading and for rallying because, rocks and stuff will get caught in there. I've never had an issue ever
Me
with
neither.
rocks and pebbles. So
Me
I'm
neither.
like, hey, the car stops and it stops quick. And then I have Billet Works 5 millimeter wheel spacers,
Okay.
which doesn't really do a whole lot for aesthetics, but it was just kind of get them to stop rubbing when I make turns.
Yep.
Every inch counts.
That's what you
You took my joke. Nameless Performance quad tip catback exhaust,
cool.
which was customized because I have a Kurt 2-inch hitch, which was hilarious to watch my best friend take an angle grinder to a brand new exhaust. I was like, you know what? We're here and it's okay. So I have the Crawford subframe drop kit, the Rallytech adjustable end links, the Rallytech adjustable trailing arms, K&N cold air intake, the pedal commander, the second version, not the first one.
Okay.
Grimspeed Hello Horn bracket with twin Hello Horns, custom made in-house wire mesh grill. Because I didn't like the others. The other one looks okay, but I like the wire mesh.
Yours looks really good.
Thank you.
Love it.
Yeah, that was made with, I kid you not, screen door material and hot glue.
I've done the same with epoxy and fiberglass, so I'm right there with you, man.
I love it. I love it. The Rough Country switch kit for all my lights, which is the new version with the RGB lighting, which is so good. They warranted that out for me because the first version with the backlight, the blue black, not black light, but the blue backlighting went out a couple times and the panel died. So they warranted it for the new one. I was like, oh, you guys are so awesome. Rough Country for the win.
Yeah.
And then Baja Designs Squadron Pros for the hood and for the ditch lights. Baja Designs XL Sports for the front, and then 4 more S2 sport lights for the rack sides.
Baja Designs, I like your style, man. You understand the value of well-engineered things. Just from everything you've said so far, I can already gather that. I love it.
I appreciate that. When I was building it, I'm like, look, this car is going to last me a very long time. I will probably bury myself in this car. So I want these things to outlast me, but outlast the car.
Yeah.
So I like, honestly, if it's a couple extra $100, I should be honest. If it's a couple extra $100, I'll probably pay more for it because I know it's gonna. And I heard Diodynamics is really, really good. I just don't have experience with them because Baja Designs is it's literally right down the street. Their warehouse is down the street from me, so I could just go pick up parts and stuff from them. So
yeah. And that's how it is for me too. People be like, what lift kits do you use? I'm like, well, this is what I use. There's other brands, but this is what I like. So nothing
exactly.
that, man.
To each their own. I love everyone's modifications if they love them. If they don't love them, then I'm like, okay, well, that's,
We need more of that, man. I feel like I talk about this a lot. There's a lot of hate, like, oh, that's not like a functional who cares, dude? Who cares?
It looks good, doesn't it? Okay.
You're not going boating in your Sperry topsiders, so who gives a fudge?
Speaking of things that don't do anything, well, actually, this one does. I have a United CB radio with a stubby antenna for the roof rack, but the part that I love is I put a bullhorn on the car.
Sick.
Just for fun, so I can yell at people. I have the Grimspeed fender flares, the Spider no drill roof rack, the 2021 Crosstrek air vents for the sides, because I think I have a picture of it on my Instagram. The stock ones had the black trim, and these ones that I bought have the silver trim, so it kind of makes the whole car feel together, in my opinion. Falcon Wild Peak all-terrains. I love Falcon. I have had Falcon on every single car. They're so good. I've had Toyos. I like my Toyos, but I really do like the Falcons. They really have been super chill.
Let me ask you real quick. Are you running of either the AT3, AT4, or are they the AT Trails?
The AT Trails.
Okay. Any sidewall issues with those at all yet?
No, not to my knowledge. And I've crashed that car into a river bank, and it's the only thing I got on the tires was mud. So they've been super good. Oh, and a piece of chain link, but that was in the center. That was not on the sidewall. So
okay, cool. That's the only complaint I hear about those and I've helped people repair many of them in the sidewalls. But other than that, dude, that's such a good tire for retaining good on-road manners and still being able to grip when you leave the pavement, dude. So good choice.
Thank you. Yeah, honestly, the road noise is very minimal, if any. And they just never got me. They've never gotten me stuck. I've gotten out of everything. So I definitely like my all-terrains. They're pretty nice. They're pretty good.
And what size are those?
I think I went stock.
Okay.
I think they're 18s. 17s or 8. I think they're 18s.
Okay. I'm trying.
Yeah, 18s. I did go an inch larger because I put Sparkos on it.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm trying to look at like I said, we literally just met, so I'm trying to learn in real time.
For the listeners at home, we met like an hour ago, I want to say now.
Literally like a little over an hour ago at this point.
Yes.
These are my favorite kind of interactions. Making a friend in real time. That's what we're doing here.
Exactly. It's shout out to Shane, PYP Dadwagon.
Yes, go listen if you haven't already listened to that episode. 100%.
Yeah, he's hooked us up. We've made new friends here.
Yes, we have. He's such a good dude. Have you talked to him in person? I know you guys are on the opposite side of the country, but
I've never talked to him in person. I've talked to him a lot recently because I won a sticker raffle. I think he was giving out with the what is it? The badge of ownerships.
Oh yeah.
He was doing a raffle, and I entered, and he's like, "You won," and I'm like, "Oh, what?"
Sick. I love that. He's such a good dude, man. We chopped it up for like almost 2 hours. Easily one of my favorite humans. Sorry, I took you off on a side trail, just like I do in life.
I do that to so many people so many times. I'm just like, I know we just finished our conversation, but wait a second.
Cool. Well, the floor is yours, man.
Well, thank you. This is a long list. I forgot how much is actually on this car.
I'm here for it, dude. That's what we're here for.
Right? WeatherTech floor mats have been so great. I put those in day one.
Mm-hmm.
The bracketeer fire extinguisher bracket, have to have it, especially for car shows. The Desert does it. Front seat jackers. I'm 6'5",
Oh,
and
wow.
those have been the best investment that you could. If you're tall and you want to have your thighs supported in your seat,
Hmm.
it's the seat jackers will do it because they raise the front of the seat up.
I love. Is that just? Is it kind of like a little insert that you put under the seat rails?
Yeah, it's like a little aluminum block about yay big, and it just bolts into where the seat bolts into the unibody.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you just bolt the seat right onto that. They're a little pricey, but it's so worth it.
That,
I've done it to the last 3 cars.
okay. Oh, good tip. Good, because we do have a lot of people that I talk to that are not compact.
It's worth it. I Every time I sit in somebody else's car and I can't elevate the front of the seat, I'm just like, oh, this is awful. I'm like, you could drive. You could
Yeah.
drive. It's okay.
Yes, sir. I'm only 6 feet, but even at my height, I run into the same problem. And my legs are the only thing that like to grow in the gym, so my thighs are always like, "Yo, dude, what are you doing to us?"
We're just floating up here.
Yes, dude. Yes.
I highly recommend checking it out.
Okay. Yeah. Good tip. I love that.
And then back at it, I put in orange. I don't know why this is on the list. It's so minute. Orange license plate lights.
I like it.
Um, I honestly don't even use them because I relocated the license plate down to the rear bumper because I got pulled over one time and he's like, yeah, you can't cover your plate with the spare. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
So I went off of Perrin and I got the license plate bracket and just screwed it into the tow hook.
Perfect. Because I was going to ask about that because that's the one thing that I did see that I was like, oh, I should ask about how he solved the license plate issues.
Yes, and super easy. And then I just wired in the. A lot of people go straight into the tail light, but I went and just bought a trailer hitch plug, and I plugged it into my trailer hitch because I don't tow very often. So I'm like, oh, this is perfect.
Yeah. Tap right into that live power. Love that.
Exactly. Yeah, super easy. Rally Armor mud flaps, Garmin Mini dash cam. The reflectors on the back of the car I had custom wrapped in the shape of mountain goats. So those have a story.
Okay.
I'm going to take you off a tangent here.
Let's go, dude. Buckle up.
So the car's named Alice after my great grandmother Frida Alice Caston, and we called her Goat because she was just Grandma Goat. That's just what we called her. I don't know how it became her nickname, but it was generations and generations. So it was Grandma Goat.
That's a sick nickname. I'm not gonna lie.
She honestly was the greatest of all time. Long live, man.
Love
her. She's so good. So this company that I wrapped my Honda with, they're called Goat Wraps, and shout out to Goat Wraps. And that's actually his logo. So I was like, I'm going to support you. I want to get a goat. Can you put your logo in my rear reflectors? And he's like, oh, say less. So he did that for me. And it helps him and it honors my grandma at the same time. So I was like, dude, this is perfect. This is so good.
R.I.P. grandma or great grandma?
Great grandma.
Dude, that's tight, dude. I love that. I never got to meet my great grandparents, so I'm glad that you did.
Yeah, I knew her up until I was 21. Okay. So 21 years. So she's a legend. She passed at 97.
What a G, dude. She's seen some things, brother.
She has. We talked for hours just about all these things. Mm-hmm. Amazing. Legendary.
Love that.
So that brings me to the next one. On my gear shifter is actually something I bought. Where did I buy that? Billet Works. I bought it off of Billet Works. Mm-hmm. And there's this place called Lasertronics. And they're the only place I could find that would actually laser engrave it. And in the laser engraving, it has her birth year, her name, and then her death year.
Okay.
And they offered it in black and orange, which goes with the theme of the car because the car is gray and orange with orange stitching.
I love that.
It's those little mementos that I put into the car that truly make it that unique and special to itself.
Sick. Do you have that on the IG? I'm looking.
Oh, do I? I'm gonna have to look because I don't remember.
More side trails. Well, you can send me a picture of it. That'll work. Send me a picture and I'll put it up in here so people can see it.
I'm gonna have to. I think I don't think I do actually. It might be on a story. It doesn't matter. I'll send it to you. Yeah, it's totally okay.
Dude, that's cool. I love stuff like that, man.
It's I just the whole car. And I made a custom car show sign from I can't remember all these companies. All of a sudden, I've been through so many companies. It was Car Show Illustrated, I want to say,
Okay.
probably Car Show Illustrated, but they made a custom aluminum sign for me with a picture of the car and a description that I had written.
That's tight.
And it's basically just a dedication page to
Okay.
my great grandmother, which will be at Subi Fest, California, August 2nd.
Let's go. Let's
We'll be
go.
there.
Let's freaking go. That's tight.
So I'll make sure to send you pictures too when we get there.
Yeah, please do, man. I'd love to see it.
It's going to be so good. So excited.
Heck yeah.
So yeah, back onto the list because it's still going. Unfortunately. So I have two rigid, I call them go boxes. They're filled with like ratchet straps, tire
Okay.
repair, a backup satellite phone, first aid kits, trauma kits. I bought them from Home Depot for like $20 and just packed them just
Good.
for go gear for
Good
trailing.
thinking though, man. Most people don't carry any of that stuff.
It's definitely worth having, especially this one time. I was again we're spiraling off, but
I
it's
love
that
it.
ADD.
Let's go. Let's go, dude.
I was on a trail with my best friend, and we got the one time I got stuck on this massive log. And I was like, we're just going to have to, I'll push. If you want to drive it up, just gun it and I'll try to push this log. And I cut my hand open. And I was like, oh, this is the worst time to do that. And I was like, oh, I have a trauma kit. Oh, I'll be okay. Yeah. So, I'm over here just bandaging up my hand and there's like blood dripping down. And she's like, I think we should go back. I'm like, we got to finish this trail. Like, we're almost there. So
what? I got to ask, what did you cut it on? Like a bracket or something, or
it was on part of the log. It wasn't even anything cool.
Yeah. Hey man, I've been there. I've been stabbed with little pieces of wood. So no, I get it. It gets gnarly out there sometimes when you're in the middle of it.
It does. It's just, like, what do you do in that situation? If I didn't have that, I would have just been like bleeding out. Mm-hmm. Lord knows what would have happened, but
yeah,
gotta have it. Gotta have the essentials and jumper cables. Oh my gosh. Have to have jumper cables. Can't stress that enough. The last two cars I forgot to put jumper cables in, and both times their batteries have died. And I'm just like, dude, but if I put jumper cables in the car, it never dies.
Yep. It's just like the if you have it, you don't need it.
Exactly. Exactly. Truer words have not been spoken.
Yes.
That's the tale of my go boxes. I have a Rago Fabrication Baja Designs S2 mounts. I've never heard of them before until I looked up just Baja Designs S2 mounts. And he had a lot of really cool stuff. They're the brackets that angle my lights down at a 45 that you'll see on the side of the rack. Love them. So good.
Yeah, Rago Fab is sick. I like their stuff.
They're really good. I've never heard of them until I searched that up, and I'm just like, this is it. I found my metal guy.
Let's go.
Body armor 4x4 front bull bar / bumper combo. So it's kind of hilarious. That story, another story. Me and my best friend were going to install it in her garage, and she had a dentist appointment that day. And I was impatient because I'm just me. And I got her 6-ton jack or a 2-ton. It's just a giant car jack.
Yeah.
And I manhandled this thing onto the jack. I'm balancing it, and I jacked it up right to the front of the car. And I started bolting it on, and it slipped. And that's why there's this giant scratch now on the front. That's not from anything cool. That's from me dropping it off the jack while I was bolting it to the car. And that's why it's crooked to this day, because I bolted it on. I saw it was crooked after, and I'm just like, oh, well, I'm not redoing it. It's fine. We're good. And she comes back, and she's just like, how did you get it on the car? I'm like, don't ask. Just don't ask. It's on there.
It has been completed.
It's we move on now. She did help me Dremel the bumper after that, so I was quite happy. I was like, all right, you can do that. That's okay. That's on you.
Yep. Hey, real quick, I got to ask about that. You steered us towards the side trail. I'm going to take it.
Do it.
How hard was the bumper cut process? And did you? Is there a template that you used, or did you just start eyeballing it, cutting more, eyeballing, cutting more? Like how did you go about that?
So they didn't supply a template because I called and I was like, "Hey, do we have a template? Is that available?"
Hmm.
And they're like, "Oh, not really. Most customers just kind of go along the edge of where that plastic, I guess the whole bumper is plastic, but where the plastic cladding meets the paint."
Hmm.
And I was like, "Okay, I'll use that as a reference." And from there, I cut that part out, and then, like you said, I would just cut little by little by little until it fit. I think there's like half an inch or a little, pardon me, a little less than half an inch
Okay,
around it just to kind of give it wiggle room.
there you go. Yeah, that way
So
you don't scrape off all the powder coating over time.
exactly. Yeah. So super
Rust.
easy.
I hate rust.
It's so bad. Oh my gosh.
we,
That
we live
brings
on
me
the
to
West
the
Coast.
story.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, dude, it's
The West Coast, yeah.
yeah.
That's
Imagine living in the Rust Belt trying to do this. I have the utmost respect for Rust Belt mechanics.
I can't imagine. That just has to be like, oh, what am I doing here? What is
Yeah.
happening?
Just
But
push
you're
off
used to it.
the cliff.
Yes. Just buy a new
Oh,
car.
can't get the wheel lug off. Off to the scrap.
Right? Just new
Oh,
car.
yeah.
Just cut that axle in half. Just get a new one. It's no, it just at that point, just plastic dip everything. Just
Yep.
bed
Send,
liner for the win.
yep. Send it with the Rhino line. Let's go.
Yeah, it won't rust if it doesn't exist.
That's right. Just start cutting. All right. Sorry. I interrupted you again, but
No, it's totally
go
good.
ahead, man.
So I have an Ironman 4x4 6-foot awning that I used at Subi Fest my first year. Absolutely love. 10 out of 10. 17 inch. Okay, so they are 17-inch. Sparco rims.
Okay.
I do love the Sparco rims because they are, I wouldn't say a dime a dozen, but they're basically a dime a dozen. And when I crack one, I just spend 100, I think it's $130 was
Yep.
how much I spent. Replaced it, good as new.
Yes, sir.
Subaru Wilderness badge, which was the greatest thing I could have put on it because I posted that in a Subaru Wilderness group. And to have so many people come after me, that's not Subaru Wilderness, that's not Subaru Wilderness. I'm like, I know it's not a Subaru Wilderness. Okay, I get it. But it's in the wilderness and it's a Subaru. So I mean,
And I have more ground clearance than you, so
exactly. Now it was so funny because there were so many people saying, "Oh, that's fake." I'm like, "Well, I bought it from Subaru. It's like $85." And
yeah,
I was like, "So I don't think it's fake, but we can say it is. That's fine. It's fake."
dude, man. If being a hater was a full time occupation, we would have so many rich people in this country.
Honestly, honestly, that's just the keyboard warriors, man. Just
Yep.
gotta laugh with them and at them. But anyway, so I have a Nash Fabco rear tailgate ladder. Love Nash Fabco. Does really good work.
Same.
Uh, rigid armor tire swing down hitch carrier, which I hear is, like they're a little overrated. I kind of like the aesthetic, but I also don't like having my full size spare on the roof. I've driven it 2 days with on the roof. It was the worst decision I've ever made.
Yeah, I got nothing bad to say about their stuff. Good choice.
Thank you. Also, Facebook Marketplace.
Let's go, brother.
Is I picked it up in my. I think I had my 24. I had a 2024 Super Impreza RS, and I picked it up in that, and I'm like, you're carrying a gift for the other one. That's what this is now.
Help your sibling out here.
Exactly. Baja Designs S1 pods. I have 4 of them in the back of the car. I have 2 washes down below and 2 spots on the interior side behind the glass,
Okay.
which are so good because I wire those up to my reverse lights and I never have a problem seeing anything. Anderson Design Fabrication interior mole panel, which is super cool. I didn't think it was going to be as useful as it
They
has
are
been,
they're
but
the
having it has been it's the best thing. It's
yeah.
so nice. It's like a little shelf as well.
Hmm.
So good,
Dude,
so good.
so me and Patrick are are homies now. I've been buying parts from him for about a decade. I just
Right on.
interviewed him a couple nights ago, and he was the first person to ever make like a Molly panel for Subarus, and
Okay.
I got nothing but love for that guy. He does it for the people. So glad to hear some more positive reviews on the Subaru panels, the Molly panels. That's the jam right there.
It is. It's definitely want to buy more because I know he's doing some trunk stuff now, and I've seen
Yeah.
it, and I'm just like, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I agree. I put one in my SG in my Forester, and dude, being able to put certain like key things up on that off the ground, out of the bags, like if my car's on fire, I need to grab the extinguisher like right now. I can't be
Yeah,
running through the go bag or the tool bag. Like we need to put this fire out immediately.
yeah. Just to reach right behind you and grab it is,
Yep.
yeah, that
Wherever.
is,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
wherever you keep your fire extinguisher. Hopefully not near the pedals, but
Accidental discharge. Oops.
oopsies.
Cool, man. That's what's up. Glad to hear it.
Yeah, no, I love his stuff. And then Rallytech, I just bought these. I have not put them on the car yet. Rallytech sway bar quick disconnects.
There you go.
They just came out with them. I've been meaning to put them on. They probably won't be on for Subi Fest, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's coming up so fast, and I don't have enough time to.
They make a ton of noise after a while, but they are super nice if you still want that good, that good feeling on the road and not lose all that travel on the trails. And
Have you tried them?
I haven't because I just don't run sway bars.
Well, there you go.
Dude, I'm like the ultimate scoundrel, but that's just what everybody that I've talked to is like, yeah, they make noise after a little bit of time, but that's what happens when you mod cars. They make noise.
Yeah, honestly, there's been so many noises in my car that I have not been able to figure out that I'm like, well, nothing's falling off, so that's good.
So we're good.
As long as we're driving in a straight line, semi-straight line, in a
Yeah.
line,
Yep. Heck yeah, man.
I'm looking forward to that. So
Yeah. Good call.
that'd be good. And then, yeah, I mean, that's the end of the list, but I know there's a bunch of other things. I think I have a Perrin pitch stop mount for the engine. I had a custom, we'll go back to the Hello horns.
Mhm.
I have the bracket, the Grimspeed bracket, but on the Subaru Crosstrek, at least the second gen, it doesn't have a support in the center of the grill. I mean, it does. It has a plastic support. So my best friend, she welded up a custom bracket to hold the bracket for the horns.
Okay.
And it looks stock. Like, it looks so good. She painted it and everything too with high temperature grill paint. And
Yeah.
I haven't seen a lot of Crosstreks where it's like dual right in the center, like you see it on an STI or a WRX.
Yeah.
So, if someone out there has it, please send me a photo. I would love to see more Crosstreks like that.
I love that. Yeah, as much as I break cars, you'd think I'd know how to fabricate. I've never welded a day in my life. As much as I hate to admit it, never done it, bro. I need to come hang out with you guys.
Our door's always open.
Perfect. Yeah, I think, dude, the Subaru stock horns, they're so bad.
Don't even get me started. It is so bad.
They match exactly all the jokes that get made about Subarus, and it's like, okay, we got to do something else here.
We got to put something a little bit more than meat meep. Like,
Yeah.
not even. It's like, so I don't. Yeah, it's disappointing to say the least.
Yeah, got me out here on some Roadrunner crap. What is this, dude? let me ask you this. What I'm not going to say any numbers, but based on our conversation right before we jumped on here, you have spent a lot of money on the car.
Yes, I have.
What has been kind of the biggest money suck when it comes to modding the car?
Honestly, for me personally, it's been suspension and overall maintenance. Now, both those things don't sound very expensive, but what a lot of people I don't think realize until they do it is everything that Rallytech builds is adjustable for the most part. And
Yeah.
everything on the back end and the front end of my Crosstrek is Rallytech and adjustable. And at least maybe once every 4 months, I have to grease every single fitting.
Yeah.
And I have to, like, if I hit a, I have a lifetime alignment with Firestone because I get an alignment at least once a month.
I love
At least once a month. That car gets, like, you hit a pothole, it gets misaligned. You look at it wrong, it gets misaligned. It's just like, so that has really kind of been the biggest cost, is dialing in the suspension, making it work for what I want it to do. And then just general maintenance. I don't treat that car very well as much as I should. I've done some really stupid things. I've gone up, just recently, I was up in San Bernardino and I hit a trail.
Mhm.
And that was the first time I've ever slammed the car down so hard where I've dented the bottom of the unibody. And I don't have skate rails. So I was like, okay,
Yeah.
or rock skids
Rock.
or whatever you want to call
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, rock sliders. So I've jumped it at least 5 feet in the air one time on accident. I've driven it through a river. I've taken it rally crossing. It's, so
Let's go.
maintenance. I kid you not, I might bring them to Subi Fest. I have 2 binders this thick of every single record, every single receipt that I've ever had for that car. And most of them is maintenance because I am religious about maintenance. The
Love
CVT fluid gets changed a little under 15,000 every single 15,000. The diffs are about 25,000. Oil changes every 3,000. Which, this sounds ridiculous to a lot of people, but I beat on that car so hard, and it's like, it deserves it.
Pay it now or pay it later.
Right.
That you're explaining to me exactly the type of intervals that I tell people. You've got way more unsprung weight on the car now with bigger, heavier tires. You're even just driving the cars the way we do. If you're not pulling your maintenance schedule mileage intervals down at least 10 to 20%, you're going to roach stuff so fast, bro. So
Honestly.
this is so good. And more people need to hear this. You know what I mean? Like, because people are just out here like, oh yeah, I got 10,000 miles on this oil. Okay.
I try to give PSAs like that, like, just cut it a little bit sooner, but to
Yeah.
each their own. I'm not going to judge, everyone is, it's getting expensive too.
Mhm.
Fluids, I mainly take it to Subaru, because the CVT scares me. I'm just like, won't
Same.
touch that.
Same.
So I'm like, dealership, hello Subaru Temecula, shout out. I will let them handle it.
Yeah. I don't know if you heard my interview with Derek, Unpaved P&W. He roached essentially brand new CVT by changing the fluid himself. He was off by a little bit because you have to get it up to a certain temp before you drain it to get
Right.
everything up out of the valve body and down into your drain pan. And he roached it within
Oh.
it was like within 6 months of having it warranted.
Oh man.
So good on you, man. Because some people can do this stuff. Some people feel comfortable doing it, but if you don't, it's okay to pay somebody so that you can sleep good at night and get in your car and know it's going to work.
Yeah. It makes me so nervous. That right there makes me so nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought I had the car feel like it slipped one time,
Mhm.
and I took it immediately in and I had this fluid changed. And they're like, why did you have it changed? And I'm just like, I felt it slip. They're like, okay, well, let us know if that happens again. Never happened again. I'm just like, fluid change.
I mean, if people think they're going to catch any hate from me for not working on their own cars, dude, I do not give a fudge. Like, if you don't feel comfortable doing something, I mean, I encourage people to do things they feel comfortable with, or even to push a little bit and, get help to learn certain things. But dude, absolutely nothing wrong with letting the professionals handle things that you don't feel super comfortable with. So good plan, my friend.
Thank you. Yeah, no, that's a lot of where my costs come from. There's a lot of the shop costs, but
Yeah. Yeah, that's been my experience too, man. I own 3 cars currently. The Subarus are probably the most reliable. Like I can't believe what sort of abuse I've put them through. But man, when it comes to the Jeep, I do almost all the work on that thing myself. But I
Right
mean,
on.
I I drive it like GTA for sure. But dude, it's like, oh, I'll just do, slip yoke eliminator kit. Next thing you know, you're like $1,000 in because, oh, look, it needs new U joints here. Oh, look, the drive shaft is really bad. Time to get a new, it's just like, oh.
It's
And if
like,
you're,
man, here we go again.
it's always that can of worms. Hey,
Always.
I don't know if this is too personal, but what kind of work do you do to kind of fund this habit? Just because I like talking to people and learning about people, or how the heck do you afford to do all this stuff? Are you own a business or anything?
No, eventually, hopefully. No, so it's not personal at all. Well, I mean, it is personal, but I don't mind answering. I
Okay,
work in the.
I didn't know if it's out of line, but I love talking to people about their life stories. So
You're totally good. I could talk for hours.
cool.
Um, I work at a live events company.
Okay,
So basically, what I mean by live events is like Comic Con. Right now, we're doing Comic Con San Diego.
sick.
I do all the lighting on the sides of the building to uplight all the like for stars, AMC, FX. But we don't just stop there. We do big concerts, Post Malone, Kesha, a lot of stuff out in Montana, a lot of stuff up in Los Angeles. If you look up Empire State Building Star Wars Day, we did the entire projection of the star. Like I think it was Darth Vader on the
Okay,
side of the Empire State Building. That was us. That's what I do.
that's so sick. Okay, cool. Well, see, I've never met a single person that does live events lighting like that. Yeah, that's cool. Thanks for humoring me, man. That's super
Yeah.
rad.
It's oh
Love
my
it.
gosh, I love it. I've been doing it for about 15 years,
Okay.
and it's a lot of fun. Very demanding, but a lot
Yeah.
of fun.
How the heck did you get into that? You've been doing it for 15 years?
So it started in musical theater. I
Okay.
am a theater kid,
Okay.
and I was. It was before I got into high school. It was in middle school, and my twin sister had choir,
Okay.
and the lady's name is Miss McCord. Fantastic
Shout
teacher.
out.
Love her so much. And she comes up to me and she's like, "So your sister says you're really good with technology." And I'm like, "I guess so." Because at the time I ran my own kind of tech team for the middle school and I would set up projectors and stuff like that for the teachers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yeah, I guess so." And she's like, "Well, I bought all this lighting equipment. We're going to start doing musical theater next year. And I was wondering if you take a look at it." And
Okay.
here I am, just doing my young self, flipping dip switches and playing with the console. And everything turns on. And that was the moment I got sucked into it. I'm like, this is it.
That's
This is what I want to do. So through high school, I did all of musical theater. I did all of the cabling projection for the high school, all the after school events. I just got sucked into the world of AV. I was like, oh, this is so fun.
I love that, man. Well, I think it's so valuable to figure out, or, when you find that thing that can pay your bills and you wake up and you go do it and you're like, oh, this is the sickest thing I could be doing. That's where life gets good, man. And you're young, bro. It's
I am.
so rad that you found something like that you're good at, that pays your bills and helps fund our frivolous car buying addictions. Dude, so yeah, man, shout out to you. Congrats. That I love hearing that because I just hear so many people like, I hate my job, I hate my boss, I hate the company I work for. It's like, well, you filled out
Could
the
make a
app.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
love that.
No, you're good. Honestly, I will go on a little bit more of a personal side for you
Please do.
because you might love this.
Okay,
So, out of high school, in high school, I started a car club and we hosted car shows for our small little town.
that's tight.
And I loved it so much because I'm big into cars. I've always will be, always have been. And out of high school, I was like, oh, you know what? I'm going to be a mechanic. That's going to be so cool. So,
Famous last broke words, dude.
right? So with this dream in my head, I started college early in high school and I was a certified mechanic for
Nope.
1 month. And I said, this is the worst thing I could ever do. Oh my gosh, I have so much respect for mechanics, like so much respect. I'm
Same.
like, you take as much time as you need. Oh, okay, you want to, if that looks worn down, we should investigate that. I'm not going to question it. I know.
Oh yeah, man. When I find a good mechanic, you can have all my money because they're so hard to find because they're undervalued, underpaid, especially if you work in a dealership setting. So I can see why it was a 1 month deal for you.
It was. I was just like, you know what? Respect to all of you. This is not me. I have a degree now. I have no use for said degree, but it's okay. It
Yeah.
looks good on the wall. Um, and during that time, because this was 2019,
Okay.
um, I had started actually, no, this was 2020. Was it 2020? Yes, 2020.
Okay.
I was learning more and more about my great grandmother, and I found out. Now, this is super cool. I try to post this a lot to try to keep her memory alive. During the 1950s, 1960s, during the space race, she actually started her own company called Markin and Caston. And she built the stabilization relays for the rocket ships going in and out of orbit. So that way they were going in and out of orbit in a straight line. And I was like, oh, this is the coolest thing ever. So I went to NASA and I said, hey, I'm discovering all this information. Can I get access to your historical archives so I could, piece it all together?
Yeah.
And they were like, of course. Actually, why don't you just apply? And I'm like, apply to what? They're like, why don't you apply as a historian and just write all this down and publish it? And I'm like, say less. So I was a historian at NASA up until COVID, and they furloughed me because they're like,
Yeah.
it's just not a position that is really like that we need. And I'm like, that's fair. That's fair. And I love that job because I was able to dig into so much history about my great grandmother and learn more. And they were actually going to fly me out to the Smithsonian
Okay.
and look because Friendship
Like
7 actually has
the Myth Smithsonian, not just
the Smithsonian
bro.
because the
Crazy.
relay that she built is actually still in Friendship 7.
What in the Einstein frick, dude? What is her background? Like, how did she get into that? That is absolutely
I'm
crazy.
I'm not quite sure. I never asked her, and I am so disappointed I didn't because I love learning about my family history, and I could go on about the cars and my family history for like an hour. That's even more wild. But so after that and through COVID, I worked at Home Depot for about two till 2022, and nothing wrong with Home Depot. It's the only place I was hiring like in person work.
Oh yeah. And they were crushing right then too.
They were, oh my gosh, it was so busy. I was like, you guys this is wild.
Yeah.
But I remodeled 3 houses during that time, learned a lot about plumbing and electrical and woodworking.
Okay.
Pardon me. So good skills to learn. And then that's when AV started to come back, and I did in-house AV at a hotel. And that's when I got picked up at the company that I worked for prior to this current company. And I've just been doing big live events ever since.
That's rad, man. I love that. Like I said, dude, you're still so young and you found something that's honestly like one of the sickest things I've heard of in a while. That is so cool, dude.
I
What
appreciate it.
Oh yeah, man. Because my favorite thing is because there are a lot of haters out there, man. And when I see people winning, even if it's winning in the form of doing something they enjoy or making fistfuls of cash, dude, I'll be the biggest cheerleader you've ever come across. So I love that. What what do you already have anything on the books that you know that you guys are going to be doing soon?
For work.
Mm-hmm.
So we're finishing up Comic Con,
Mm-hmm.
and then what's coming next? We have a couple of big shows in the LA area coming up. I'm not allowed to discuss too many of the names because there's a lot of NDAs and
You know
stuff like
what?
that.
I don't know why that didn't cross my mind, but I should have asked you what your favorite one in the past was, but I totally get it.
Oh, my favorite. That's a
Like
good question.
it's hard to pick a favorite.
It's hard to pick a favorite, but I would have to say it was the last show I did at my last company for Gartner. I have no
Okay.
idea what they do, but we were in this ballroom and we had 400 plus movers, light fixtures,
Okay.
and it was like 6 different truss lines, and it took us days to get set up and programmed and everything like that. And when we got everything done, it was just sit and wait. That's basically all you did, was sit and wait, because you would just go through the show, do nothing, just sit backstage in case something goes wrong. Thankfully,
That's
nothing
like
did.
the military, man. Hurry up and wait.
Hurry up and wait. That's the motto, man.
Yeah.
And the best part about that was is that the hotel took care of breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So
Sick.
I just ate for free. I sat and got paid. And then, when it was all said and done, it was so sad because it's like, oh, this is like the last, I think, big show I'm going to do for a while, because the current company I'm with is a little bit smaller, but we do some pretty cool things. So I'm not sad.
Yeah. Sometimes doing smaller stuff that's a little bit more low key and intimate is kind of the jam,
For sure.
I like working for small companies. I work for technically on paper a small business currently, but I do understand that feeling of being involved in something where you're like, whoa, this is big, is also a cool feeling too. So I get.
Yeah.
How do you feel like, I mean, because it totally makes sense. All your lighting choices now make tons of sense. um, I imagine when you're doing AV stuff, there's a lot of just logic as to the way that you run stuff, the way that you set things up. Do you feel like that has kind of carried over into the way that you have modded the car? I mean, it sounds like it has just from what you've told me.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, especially with the lighting on the car, like in AV and in car lighting, they're both two very different worlds,
Mm-hmm.
but they're very similar in the aspect of where you need light the most, where it's going to help you the most, and what type of light you need and what type of light is going to help you the most.
Mm-hmm.
So on the front of Alice, I have the Squadron XLs. Those are just white clear,
Uh-huh.
so they just shine for miles just in a straight beam. And that's really
That's
good.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, those are really good for certain aspects. Like if I'm going down a long road or if I'm in the middle of the desert and I need to see something a long way, love them. The fog light kit that I have are amber, and they're just a wash. And that's great for just close up, like right here type things.
Yeah.
So like that carries through the entire car. Like everything has a specific purpose
Mm-hmm.
for that specific purpose, I guess is what I can say.
No, it makes total sense because I've definitely experimented with what a light bar, just a regular old light bar looks like in the fog, and it looks like nothing but a wall of nothing.
Yeah, it's just a blank slate.
Yeah. Do you have any basic tips for somebody that is just getting into this and is like, I really would like to do some more lighting? What would be maybe one or two things like must-haves for lighting that you would recommend to that person?
Ooh, must haves.
I know it's hard because I'm only giving you a couple, but
No, you're totally good. I have to think about it. For sure, a must have if you're going to do any sort of lighting is get a better battery than OEM. I have the
yes.
Optima Red Top in
Okay.
my car, and it has been the best battery. I had every single light on that car, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 lights on that car. I had them all on for 20 minutes, and the battery barely dropped below 12.4 volts.
Love it.
And it's still started. And you have to have a good battery, in my opinion. And honestly, a battery gauge. It does not hurt to know what your battery's at, because at some point you can be like, oh, that's getting critically low. I got to start it. And I have, I forget which, there's so many brands. I forget which brand it is of gauge, but it has a alarm on it. So when it gets below 12.3 volts, it starts setting off a verbal alarm. And then I just start the car and then everything's dandy. But definitely aftermarket battery
Yes.
for the win.
Dude, you're speaking my language because I run in all three of my cars, I have full throttle AGM batteries, which
Nice.
they're a they're kind of like a pair. They're way smaller than Optima. But after doing some research, I was like, okay, these are the best bang for the buck. And so I started running them. And I am constantly telling people, like, if you are still running the regular wet cell Subaru battery, you will eventually either be stuck somewhere or you're going to get stranded out in the middle of nowhere. And that's even just running a stock setup with no accessories. And dude, they're so bad. They leak, they rust
They
the
do.
dude. That's another thing people don't think about. The frame rails take a beating because you're just leaking all that what is like sulfuric acid or whatever straight onto the unibody, and
Exactly.
you never see it because it's under the battery.
Yeah. And it
So
spreads
they
too. It
oh
spreads like cancer.
quickly, yeah. No, I'm glad you said that though. Like I don't personally own any Optima stuff, but yeah, anything that's not lead acid, if you're going off pavement, AGM minimum, dude, because you're not going to just rattle those plates to death and end up
Right.
with premature failure, man. So love it, man, love it. Good call.
It's definitely, yeah. And then besides that, just get a good Switch controller too. That is you have to find a good brand. Rough Country has been super excellent. I love mine. Super easy. Well, super easy install.
Well, yeah, you got AV experience, so I'm guessing that the majority of this stuff is somewhat straightforward, but but still not
Pretty
bad.
much.
Switch panels are not hard to do at all.
No, the only thing that I hear a lot of people ask is like, how do you mount it? Where do you mount it?
Mm-hmm.
That is the biggest thing. And in the Crosstrek, it's kind of hard to find a good spot. I used the OEM bracket that came with the Rough Country kit,
Okay.
and I had to modify it and bend it, and it just looked so bad. But thankfully, Grimspeed Trails came out with a actual piece that just bolts onto the tower right there,
Love it.
and it's excellent. I mean, it's not bolted on; it's just zip tied on because if I have to replace it, then it's easier. But
Yeah. Now, yeah, it's way better than throwing self tappers in it, because you might want to
yeah,
fit or, whatever. Does that have just like, because I currently run like an aux beam switch panel, which I know is maybe a little bit ghetto, but I love it.
Oxbeam's good. I've heard good things.
Yeah, I haven't had a single issue with it. But is yours kind of the same way in terms of you've got that one wire loom that you got to feed through the
Yeah,
firewall? You're kind of set until you fill up all
yeah,
the tanks. Okay,
yeah.
cool. Yeah, I think more people should run those, and I know they are becoming pretty commonplace now. It's rare that I run into somebody that doesn't use one or hasn't heard of them. Bro, absolutely changed my life when it comes to installing new accessories.
It's lovely too because you just unscrew the little taps, put the wires in, screw them back down, and then
Yeah. Does yours have the bank that also includes the ground, or you just ground a chassis when you're installing something new?
I just went ground to chassis.
That's the one I bought because I was like, it's a smaller box, so it'll be easier to fit, and then I can just ground close to the accessory itself. So same boat.
I love it. Yeah, it was super easy. There was a body ground or an engine ground like right below it. So I just unscrewed it, put it on, boom, done.
Yes, sir. That's what's up. I wanted to ask you actually about because speaking of accessories, you have the winch mount. Did you end up putting a winch in that, or are you still just running it as a bumper for now?
I'm just running as a bumper for now.
Okay.
I've been torn between Badlands from Harbor Freight or Warn, but I don't
Right.
do anything serious enough. And if I'm going to get into rally racing, it's kind of like maybe,
Yeah.
but we'll see. That's definitely an eventually
Okay.
kind of accessory, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I've just got like a little Harbor Freight ZXR or whatever it is in the Subaru, just like a little 5,000 pound winch. And it is hard. It's hard to know, like, okay, because it is a wearable part, that's not going to last forever. I mean, the worn stuff is worth what it is, but it may not be worth it to everybody. So,
Right. And the price point too, it's like honestly, does the Warn outperform Badlands? Because I have the Badlands 2-ton off-road jack,
Hmm.
and I love that thing. Like I've never had an issue with Harbor Freight, so I might go Badlands. I
Yeah.
might go Badlands.
Yeah, there's certain stuff where, because I've never seen a worn winch fail. So as far as like the reliability, okay, I'll give them that. Their stuff is most of it's still manufactured actually in Oregon, over in I think Clackamas or Oregon City. I used to live and work over in that area, but man, you really are going to have a hard time convincing me I shouldn't spend $160 on something that's still going to get me out of a ditch.
Right?
If worst case scenario, it doesn't work, I call a friend, get me out, and buy the Warn after that.
Yeah, it's we learn after doing.
Yeah, 100%. Um, Let me ask you this. So just recap on the lights, bigger battery, and a switch panel. Those are fantastic. I did not foresee those answers, but those are fantastic. Good input, man. I love it. What as far as your suspension, are you experiencing any of the dreaded sag with the Ironman suspension or no?
Um, Not that I've noticed.
Good.
Um, Sometimes I feel like the front end is a little lower than the back end, but
Okay.
it doesn't really, like, I could pick up the whole car from the bull bar and it doesn't really, not like off the ground, but like just pick it
Yeah.
up. And it doesn't really move all that much. So I would have to say no.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's been kind of a big point of discussion among a lot of Subaru owners right now. It's always the people that are having a bad experience that have the most to say. Um,
Yeah,
that's still a relatively new product. First I ever heard of it was maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and I think that's when they released. And so I know they were having some issues with, whenever you come up with a new product, you kind of have to release it, see how it does, see how it holds up to, the average use case, and then go from
for
there.
sure.
So, no,
Yeah.
glad to hear it. And I wanted to ask you when because typically a lift kit is one of the biggest places where people will spend time doing research. Um, what was kind of your purchasing process? Did you have any like real significant points that you were looking at as you're doing your research for the lift, or is it just kind of an impulse buy? I do impulse buys all the time.
I definitely do impulse buys as well. It's that adult money, man. When we were kids, it was so
Yeah,
easy to just be like, oh no, can't afford that. It's not my allowance. But now it's just like, oh,
same, same, dude. Oh, it's the worst. But yeah, how was that for you? Were there other things that you were considering, or
So when I first lifted the car, my best friend actually gifted me the rubber spacer lift, and that
okay,
was my first ever lift kit that I ran on the car. And over time, because I had originally on it, I had Bilsteins on the car originally. That's what it came with from Subaru,
previous owner?
and yeah. And the Bilsteins, I went through like 4 sets within a year. They just kept blowing out and blowing out, and I'm like, I don't understand why this is.
The
So
B or B6s, or I don't know.
um, I
I'm not
think
super familiar with their stuff, but
I did upgrade to the B6s,
okay,
and those were they just would just it's just I don't understand what it was. They like blow out and sag, and it was just I
interesting.
have no clue. So I've never really bought Bilstein after that.
Okay.
So I took the spacer kit off, and my problems went away, of course. And I'm just like, well, now I got these chonky off-road tires that are making all this noise. And so I was searching and searching, and I'm like, oh, I think it was like $1,200 at the time. I'm like, do I get the Ironman Spec C or do I just wait? So I just waited and I found it Facebook Marketplace of all places for like $700. And he's like, it's only been on the car for 2,000 miles. I couldn't stand how stiff it was. For you, it's yours. I'm like, say less. So I drove like 3 hours, picked it up, and I had it put on the next week. And it's just that's what it's been ever since, and it's been so good.
Good to hear. Yeah, and I think you know any the Spec C or any overload spring, yeah, they're definitely a little bit more harsh. Once you leave the pavement, but man, with that front bumper, the rear bumper with the rear spare tire, probably not too bad. I would imagine. I'd be
No,
interested.
everyone that's been in that car has said it's been like a dream to drive and sit in on the pavement. It's really nice. Off
Are you,
road, it's like, oh.
yeah, kidney killers, kidney killers, as Patrick calls them. Are are you still wanting to swap out for something that's a little bit softer, just for off road comfort at all, or
Not necessarily off road comfort, but definitely for rally racing. I want to go with the flat out with the extra reservoirs.
that makes a ton of sense?
Yes, because I when I did that rally course with that suspension, it it cornered really decent for what it was, but it wasn't what I wanted. I wanted more control, more handling, less slop, less three wheeling,
Yeah,
and I definitely think that would do it.
yeah.
And if it doesn't, someone can correct me. That's fine, but I'm willing to try it because the Spec C is just I've kind of worn it out. I think, especially after 70,000 miles, it's kind of a little
Oh,
it's getting a little sad.
okay. At that point, yeah. So, yeah, you're the perfect candidate because I typically tell people, spacer kits are honestly the way that 90% of people should go. Suspension lifts are great, coilovers are cool, but for most people, you're not going to get what you're spending and all the setup, you know, costs and maintenance because they got to be maintained too. You got to rebuild them on a regular basis.
Yep.
In your case, man, you are the perfect candidate for that setup, especially with the external reservoirs for the extra fluid. Because man, it does not take much at all of that type of driving to heat the piss out of them, dude. So,
Honestly, yeah, they take a beating.
yeah, yeah. So you're on the right track, man. I love to hear you know people who've done the research and rather than just being like, oh well, this is the cool thing that people are buying, so I'll just spend more money than is necessary on it because it's cool.
Right.
Yeah, man, I love that. And how many events have you done with Rallycross?
So just the one so far.
But you're hooked,
Um,
it sounds like.
I am totally hooked. I'm getting invites from places all around the country now that are like, "Hey, we heard that you did really well in this race. You want to come out and try ours?" And I'm like, "Oh man,
That's so
so badly."
have you ever spectated an ARA stage rally event?
I never have. I've watched them, but that's I think what's got me hooked. I'm just like, "Oh, that looks like fun."
Dude, if you ever get the chance to go spectate like a full stage rally, whether it's in the US, Europe, wherever, it is like an otherworldly experience. I was talking to Mitch Meadows a couple weeks ago. He's he's been pretty instrumental in me getting even more into rally, but I was telling him, man, like I have never heard cars make the sounds that rally cars, like stage rally cars make outside of witnessing car accidents because it's like if there's a boulder that rolled down in front of onto the course, you don't stop, you just keep going, and it's
Yeah.
like just the most violent but like guttural raw thing I've ever seen. It's not a closed course, it's like rallycross on trend, like
Yeah.
it's so sick. So I'm so glad to hear you caught the bug because it's such a cool sport, and I'm excited to kind of see where the popularity of it goes in the United States because I think it's getting a little bit more exposure, and I absolutely love Rallycross because it doesn't require you to spend $10,000 on a cage and to buy a whole second set of gear for a co-driver. It's like literally you're just a regular guy like me, and you've already been out there and done Rallycross. That's so sick, dude. I love it.
Yeah, it's honestly now I want to do more. I keep talking about it. I'm like this. I'm gonna buy a cheap Subaru, just a daily driver,
Yeah.
and I already have the whole specifications for a cage built for this car,
Okay.
and I have a lot of like I have a detailed plan of how I want to rally out this Crosstrek because I don't see a lot of Crosstreks and I feel like it's slept on. And everyone's telling me it's like it's a CVT, it's a CVT, and I'm like, yeah, it's a CVT, but you know what? If it blows up, let's put a 2.5 turbo manual transmission swap in there.
That stuff dude, you should be the first to. Well, I think some other people have done it.
A couple people have in the first gen Crosstrek. I
Yeah.
haven't. I don't think I've seen it in the second gen yet.
I don't know how you would, because I know, dude, everything is so complicated now. Like the TCM and the ECM are all separate. Everything communicates with everything else. It's like, oh, now I got to figure out how to jump this and put a resistor in here so that so that it does what it's supposed to. That kind of stuff is so over my head. But you should please do it, please. I would love
this
this
is
second gen, bro. That is so sick.
this is definitely like future goals for
Yeah.
sure. It's on the board.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right though. It's cool to to take a platform because I don't like stuff that's rare because if you break it, it's so much harder to buy parts for. But
For
something
sure.
that is slept on in one specific discipline that is still abundant, that's cool. I absolutely love that. Like when I see people out, doing quarter mile drags in Forester XTs, I'm like, that's sick.
I love seeing that stuff. It's just like you did
Oh,
what? That's
same, dude. Yeah, and I wanted to ask. I mean, it sounds like you already answered, but were there any other cross treks out there, or was it just you at that event in a cross trek?
at that specific event, it was just me. But I have seen videos and posts of other cross treks doing it on that same event with the same school,
Okay.
and I'm just like, oh, that's so wild. And I forget who it was that commented on one of my posts when I posted the rally videos, but he was like, oh yeah, I am sad I didn't see you there because I also rally my cross trek, and I was like, oh, that'd be so cool. I heard of treks, just rally crossing, just
Yes.
confusing people.
What do you think was so you did you got seventh? How many vehicles were competing in that event?
In total, oh,
Just
maybe
ballpark.
40 to 60, somewhere in that range.
Dude, that is impressive. First day out, you're crushing it that is the sickest thing I've ever heard.
It was so funny just to see this little soccer mom car just kick so much butt. And I think my favorite part of all of it was I didn't even hit a single cone,
Hmm,
which is so good because that's a 2-second penalty per cone.
gotcha.
I didn't hit a single cone. I was so paranoid. I'm like, don't hit the cone, don't hit the cone, just don't hit the cone.
That's so sick, dude. Dude, good job, man. That is impressive. What do you think was the probably the I don't want to say like most intimidating, but like a car that technically you beat on that track day that you maybe would look at and be like, that's tight. I beat like a 400 wheel horse WRX or whatever. Was there anything like that in the lineup where you were like, oh, heck yeah?
Yeah, kind of. I'm not the biggest one to be like, oh yeah, I won, I beat you. So I was just like, hey, I'm all about the fun. Like this was
100%.
fun, and if we had fun, I wasn't intentionally trying to beat you. I was just trying to have fun. So
Yeah, yeah,
there was definitely some cars out there. I'm like, that's wild. It's
yeah.
like, whoa.
Well, I'm
But
giving you permission to brag on yourself a little bit. That's okay.
I appreciate it. Yeah, no, that is. What car was it that I think it was an Audi
Okay.
Q7, and that thing was flying. I think it was a Q7. I'm not too. It was the SUV
That's what I
Audi.
was gonna ask.
I think it's an SQ7.
I, I'm so bad with German model numbers because
I it was the Audi SUV, and that thing was flying,
they're quick.
and it placed several spots below me, and I'm just like, oof. I'm like, I'm sorry. Granted, he did. In fairness, he did hit some cones, so if he didn't hit the cones, we'd probably be neck and neck. But I was just like, that is so. It was so cool to see like all these cars that you would never expect to see on a rally course, just ripping it up, having fun, kicking mud. I was like, yes, this is my type of people right here.
I love that. Well, dude, and I always am just absolutely blown away by the capability of these cars, even in stock form. It's like the way Subaru engineered the all-wheel drive system, the way that the engines lay on their sides and give you a better center of gravity, they handle so well and they do so many things so much better than a majority of vehicles that are out there.
And the next day we had the water trucks come through, and
Oh,
I left all the mud on my car for like 3 months after because I was so lazy. I was just like, oh, it's fine. It looks good.
that
I'm
makes
like,
two of us, man. The Forester, I've pressure washed it, like foam cannon and pressure wash. The Jeep, I don't remember the last time I washed that. Even the daily driver, bro. Been I live in like the dust capital of the world too, because I live in like an ag community. So
okay.
they'll plow, any like onion or watermelon that you eat probably came from within like a 20-mile radius of where I live. And
Oh,
so
that's pretty cool.
yeah, it's we get some good produce out here, but yeah, they plow the fields, all that dust comes up straight through my subdivision. I'm just like, oh,
Oh man.
you just give up at a certain point.
It's just got to be dirty at this point.
Oh, 100%. Just got to leave it. What do you think are, I'm guessing that the next chance you get, you're going to take that thing back out and do another event. What would be if you were going to do a Rallycross event, say a couple months from now? What are some of the biggest things that after that first event, you're like, okay, I need to upgrade this, or I need to switch this out or set this up differently? Was there anything like that that stood out to you?
For sure. Taking the tire carrier off is
Mm,
definitely the biggest thing for the next race.
okay.
Changing out the suspension. And I would like to. I have a Perrin CVT cooler kit that I would love to install because after the fourth or fifth lap, I could just tell that it was getting hot and it was getting tired. And I'm like, I can't cool you down faster than this because I don't have it installed.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Um, I mean, there's a slew of cooling fans in there, so I put a couple extra in there just to help kind of
Okay.
get it all cold.
Yeah.
But that tiny little, intercooler that comes stock, it just wasn't cutting it. So that's definitely the biggest thing that because you could just tell that CVT was just like help, help, please.
Yeah. They're good at what they do in stock form, but even just a couple percent more of demand on them and they do not get happy. They're
No,
not stoked. Yeah.
no.
And if I was, because I don't own anything with a CVT right now, but if I did, one of the first things I'd do is put one of those ADF CVT pans on them. Uh,
Are
dude,
those pretty good?
oh, bro, it, in my opinion, it's one of the most slept on upgrades for the CVT. They don't make them for everything yet. I was just
Okay.
talking to him. They're developing one right now. It's an expensive product to make because it's billet 6062 aluminum.
Oh, dang.
So
Okay.
they're literally machining it out of a solid block of billet aluminum. Um, and it's, just a lot of time and R&D to get
Yeah.
out. So people like scoff at the price, but dude, that'd be one of the first things I'd put on. I don't give a fudge how much it costs if it makes my CVT cooler and gives me more fluid. But
That might have to be the next mod.
dude, it's it's pretty rad. I have no need for one, but now I'm like, well, maybe I should just go buy an Impreza or something with a CVT just just to see
We'll
what I
just,
can
we'll
make it.
just give it a try.
Yeah, buy a car to try the mod.
That's wild, man. That's some money right there.
Unfortunately, I'm broke, so it's not happening anytime soon. But what kind of? So I got a couple questions actually I want to dig into. Sorry, I'm just gonna chat your ear off. You just got to
You're
tell me
totally fine.
when you're tired of my bull crap, and if you need to take a break and get a drink or whatever, you just let me know, man. Um, but I wanted to ask you a little bit about kind of the. I know you've owned other Subarus. You told me that you tried a couple other vehicles. So I wanted to ask about that, and then also, what was it? When you were initially buying the Crosstrek, what was it that kind of pulled you in that direction?
um, so funny enough, I in 2017, I remember a very specific ad, and it was the Subaru Crosstrek ad of all of them. If you remember, of all of them driving in the dog park and them playing like dogs.
That's sick.
That was the very commercial, and since that day, I kept seeing them everywhere, and I fell more and more in love with the body style, and I loved how the second gen looked. And I'm like, I
It looks
think
good.
it's clean. It
Yeah.
is clean. And I was like, I think I might get one of those someday. And the opportunity arose where I was just like looking at cars, and I immediately thought of Subaru because I was like, oh, I got to remember the Crosstrek.
Yeah.
And I test drove three or four different Crosstreks, and each one had a problem. But this was the last one. And I was like, oh, it's perfect. I'm like, this is it. This is the car.
Love it. What were, just out of curiosity, what were some of the issues that you felt in the other ones that you test drove?
Most of them, I guess, weren't really. Some of them were physical. The first one I drove was at a dealership that I will never ever do business with again. They're awful, awful people. Shall not be named. But
yeah, those unfortunately.
yes, they are so bad. It was the first Crosstrek I wanted to test drive, and it was black, and I didn't want black, but it was black, and I test drove it, and they held me there for like 3 hours just trying to like go back and forth and back, and they held on my car keys for my old car because they wanted to. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's how they do it.
the problems with the car was it was scratched on both sides, scratched on the hood. The interior looked like it just came through a family of 7. And I'm like walking into the dealership with this dude, and this other family started to look at it, and he's like, oh, no, the car's sold. And I'm like, no, the car's not sold. I'm not sold on it. So after like 3 hours, I finally just opened up his drawer, took my car keys, and I just drove off. I'm like, I'm done. Like, I was already late for dinner reservations with my best friend's family. I'm like, no.
Bye.
It was gross. So then the second one was through CarMax, and I test drove it with my uncle, and we were driving it, and it was silver. And I kind of like the color. It's the same. They're all same trim levels, all premiums.
Okay.
And I was driving it, and I started to brake, and it started to go to the left. And I would brake, and it'd start to go to the left. And I'm like, okay, this is weird. And when I got out of the car and we started looking over at CarMax, I was looking at the rear bumper, and there's 2 stripes of hot glue. And I'm like, I don't like this. So I got on down underneath the car. I crawled under, and sure enough, the whole rear end was crumpled in. And they just did the body around it. And I'm like, did you guys know this? And they're like, well, we inspected. I'm like, but did you know this? They're like, no, we did not know this. And I'm like, well, maybe you should inspect it better. So I was like, yeah, nope, not sold.
Yeah. I mean, I know at that time, people, they were just struggling to get inventory. So they're trying to just get stuff, and then it was sold within a couple hours. But dude, come on, man. You're putting somebody in a car that is supposed to protect their lives, bro.
Yeah, at least you can do, if you have it on a lift, which we all know they do, just look underneath it real quick. You can see that but I hope wherever it's at, the family is safe and sound. And
let's just hope it burnt down on the lot before anybody had the unpleasant experience of finding that out the hard way. Because they didn't tell the next. Well, I'm going to assume the best of them, actually. We'll just assume that they fixed it. But I'm glad you caught it, dude.
Yeah, I was not about ready to have.
No thanks.
No thanks. And then actually, I guess it was 3, because this would be the third one. My uncle found it on Edmunds, of all places, and he's like, check this one out. And I was like, I like this. He's like, okay, I already made the reservation for you to look at it. And I'm like, but what? And the dealership was so awesome. I showed up. They had my name on a giant piece of paper that I framed. I have on my wall that says, this Subaru is exclusively reserved for Carter.
That's tight.
And the second I started it and I did I was like, that's it. I bought it that night, and that was so good. And that was meant to be.
You got to shout them out. Is it the same dealership, Subaru of Temecula, or?
No, this would be Dalton Subaru of, I don't know what city. I know it's Dalton Subaru.
Out somewhat close to you, or do you have to travel out of state?
It's near San Diego.
Okay.
Yeah.
Subaru, shout out, dude.
Shout out, man. Dalton Subaru, thank you.
props where it's when people do their job. It's nice to hear some recognition. I love that. And I know you also mentioned, and also I just want to highlight, man, it sounds like you're pretty thorough and you know your way around, but man, people just buy stuff without a PPI and just, bro,
Yep.
guys can, yeah, it's going to cost you $200, but you're not going to end up with something that just had a bumper skin put on over a completely smashed subframe or something, man. Like,
Exactly.
you've saved me thousands of dollars. 100% best decision ever. Get a pre-purchase inspection every time you buy a car, unless it's going to be a rally car. You don't give a fudge. So good on you,
Yeah,
man. Good on you.
that is highlight. You have to have an inspection.
Yeah.
It's just mandatory, especially nowadays.
Oh, dude, everything's got. I mean, and it's good, but everything's designed to crumple. And it does tiny little tap from a little fender bender. Boom, everything just is toast.
Yeah,
Which keeps people alive, but doesn't take much to crunch a lot of stuff.
exactly.
Oh man. And I wanted to ask about the you had a Legacy. Love those cars, right? Like, was it a Legacy?
It was a 1999 Impreza L wagon.
Okay, so a GF8. Love
Yeah.
those cars. Then you also got the Impreza RS. Can you kind of talk about those cars a little bit?
Yeah. So the 99 Impreza was absolutely the whole story of that car is just so hysterical to me, at least.
I love these kind of stories.
So I had a buddy named Bryce, and he's in the military, so he was being deployed, and he's like, "Hey, I have this 99 L wagon that needs to go to a good home. It's on base in the middle of the field. I don't have keys, doesn't have exhaust, doesn't have a title. $200, it's yours." And I'm
Okay.
like, you know what? I'm like, let's do it. So I got a U-Haul truck and trailer, and it was me, Bryce, a buddy of his, and my best friend. And I'll have to post videos because I have all these videos logged, but it's us dragging it. Yes, I will. It's us dragging it out of this field, getting onto the trailer. And I kid you not, that night when we brought it back home, I got it running and driving. I had keys made for it because shout out to AAA, they made keys.
That's so sick.
And it had no headers. Like, there was no headers, there was no cat. So we were just ripping it up and down the streets, just just pissing off all the neighbors at like 11 at night, just having a good old time. Oh, I love that car so much. I miss it.
On Subarus is the worst, but so good at the same time.
It's so hilarious. I was just like, what? Why does it sound like this? Everyone heard me coming though.
Yeah, it's like somebody described it to me once. They're like, "Oh, it sounds like two chainsaws that are pissed and fighting."
That are also misfiring.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh man.
So,
How long?
I was actually. I'm sorry.
How long did you have that car?
Oh, I had it for I think 2 years.
Okay.
And I was going to rally it out. I actually had the infamous EJ 2.2, and it had 305 original 1,000 miles on it, and it needed head gaskets, and I didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
So I bought another EJ 2.2 motor. I got off a Facebook Marketplace that was just machined for $250. Such a good deal. I drove 6 hours for it, but such a good deal. And what was great about that was it was me and my best friend and my Subaru Crosstrek, and we had an engine hoist. The guy had an engine hoist, and we hoisted that engine in the back of the Crosstrek and literally picked it up and lifted out of the Crosstrek by hand when we got home. So wild. Oh my gosh, what an experience.
Yeah.
And I was going to rally that out. We had a buddy of mine gave me free rims. It was white on white. It was so good looking. And I eventually said, you know what? We cut the floor open because the rust was starting to get so bad. And I'm like, I'm going to sell it. So I sold it. Lord knows where it's at now. But that was my second Subaru. Loved that car. A lot of good memories. And then my 24 Impreza RS, I bought shortly after my father had passed away because I needed a second car. Driving Alice 12 miles a gallon, I was just like, this is kind of awful. So I bought the Impreza RS because it just came out and I was so excited and it looked so good.
It does.
And It's such a hot car. Oh,
I
and that baby royal, or what was it? Oasis Blue Pearl. Oh,
dude,
oh.
I looked at your Instagram and I was like, that is a nice paint code. It's like a little more refined than World Rally Blue. Chef's kiss, brother.
They honestly, the styling, the color, that car was, oh, love
Yes.
that car. Um, but then that takes me to why I sold it.
I was gonna ask.
So they claimed that the suspension was tuned by STI.
Mhm.
It felt like it was tuned by Cadillac, and with the 2.5 that it has in it, it felt painfully slow because of that CVT.
Mm.
And the touchscreen, this gigantic, I forgot how many inches it is, this gigantic touchscreen had the air controls on it, and it would never work right. The AC would always freeze, the fan would always freeze, the microphone never worked right. They replaced the head unit 3 times, and they couldn't figure out why the microphone sounded like I was underwater. And the car just felt like cheap and plastic, and eventually I was just so tired of it. I was like, I love the look of the car, but I can't keep it based on the look of it.
Mm.
So I sold it. I was like, I'm kind of sad about it, but
Bummer. They, man, their infotainment centers. If I had head gaskets, used to be the old joke with Subarus. Now I feel like it's the CVTs and the head units, but more so the head units because it's like they don't undergo any abuse during whatever kind of driving you're doing. They're just sorry, but they're bad. Like, what are you guys
yeah.
doing? Oh, that's a bummer, man. Is it something where do you know if people are able to just easily pull the old suspension out and throw in like a set of BC Racing or something like that? Or
I think it's still so new because I looked tirelessly trying to find products to replace it, and there wasn't a whole lot on the market yet.
okay,
Um, with that, there are certain teasers on my page of things that aren't on the market yet that I got on that car.
okay.
But since I don't own it anymore, I am so sorry, John. It's my bad. I still have your product, but it's not going to be on that car anytime soon.
Yeah. Well, that's there was the biggest thing for me with that car. I was really bummed. Um, maybe I'm incorrect here, but I don't think they offered it anything other than a CVT, which I like. I actually like CVTs because there's no lag in between shifts, so technically it's a faster, um, transmission. But dude, the driving experience, if they'd have just put a 6-speed manual in there, pulled it out of the BRZ or something, that would have just
Yeah.
been like the ultimate reliable, fun daily driver. I feel like that was a big miss there. But I mean, hey, there's a reason why I'm me and I'm not, an engineer at Subaru. So that was just my
Right.
thoughts on it. But you're the first person I've ever talked to that owned one of those. Um, so I like that they made it, because they didn't really do much with the Impreza uh,
Yeah.
for a lot of years. Once they kind of separated the WRX from the Impreza chassis, uh, but yeah, we'll see what people do with them in the future. 6-speed manual swap anybody?
That would be so awesome. Please
Yeah,
tag me if someone does that. I got to see that firsthand.
same. Did you, when you're modding cars, I don't know what your Crosstrek situation was. I don't know if it was under warranty, but do you have any hesitancy when you're modding a car if it is under warranty?
Oh my gosh. uh, with the Crosstrek, I don't know why I didn't hesitate more with the warranties because that's bitten me in the butt so many times. Thankfully, shout out to Hello Subaru again. They pulled some strings. It was able to cover a lot of stuff under warranty, even though I avoided them. But um, when since day one, I told myself, I'm like, the only thing you're doing to that engine is a cold air intake, at least for right now. And then later, when it gets higher mileage, we'll talk about it. So, because I didn't want to avoid, that's an expensive warranty,
Oh
the
yeah.
whole like engine replacement or CVT. So I didn't touch any of it. It just expired, so I'm already eyeballing some parts and seeing
Friggin'
what I'm going to do next.
love it. Yeah, that's always, because I bought a brand new WRX at one point. I sold it because I decided I wanted to pay off my school and buy a house. But Man,
Much smarter choice.
oh, dude. Yeah. It was, I'll tell you what, man, the moment somebody dings your car and it's, like, brand new and it's, in the parking lot, it's like, "Oh, dude, what the heck?" So I
It's like,
sold it.
why?
Yeah, I was like, "Dude, just give me a 20-year-old couple of piss box dirt trash cars. Let's call it good." Yeah, I
I
admire,
love that.
yeah, people that buy brand new stuff and then just start, you know, beat the crap out of it, taking it on trails, modding it, not giving a crap about warranty. I'm always like, salute, my friend.
Someday, man, someday.
What kind of issues, warranty issues did you experience with that car?
Ooh, the axles have been
Okay.
the biggest one because it's on a 2-inch lift, and then I decided that I'd be smart and put a 1-inch spacer lift on top of that just for a 3-inch.
Oof. Okay.
Yeah, so it's gone through axles like nobody's business. But luckily, every time they're just like, "Well, we know you voided the warranty, but because you're cool," and I spent so much money there, they're just like, "Yeah, we'll warranty this set out, but the next one's going to cost you." And they're like, "Okay, fine, we'll warranty this one out, but the next one's going to cost you." I'm just like,
You know,
I'm like, you could tell me to leave. It's okay.
well, that's something that I've told people is because the warranty question is so hard because it really does depend. It's one of those answers where it depends. And you really have to get to know your local service drive manager and figure out, because some of them, they're like, "Oh, you tinted the windows? Oh, we're not replacing anything for you." Yeah. Or,
Yeah,
"Oh,
they're so specific.
seat covers? We're not. Your whole warranty's straight to jail." Other people are like, "Oh, you lifted 3 inches, way over what it should be. We'll take care of you this time."
Yeah,
Yeah, I think building a rapport with your service riders and kind of figuring out, gauging their, just kind of their orientation of that type of stuff. I think it's probably one of the best decisions people can make if they're going to start tearing into this stuff. Because otherwise, you might find yourself on the hook for a $9,000 CVT swap.
yeah, that's man wild. I feel so bad for that one.
Yeah. What's again, I know this is like kids and it's going to be hard to pick a favorite, but if you had to pick a favorite mod that you've done up to this point, I know you told me about the Billet Works shifter, um, but in terms of like the most useful thing where after you did it, you were like, "Oh, I should have done that sooner." Was there anything like that along the process that you found?
Hmm, that I should have done sooner.
Or just, something where, because I've installed stuff where I'm like, "Whoa, this is an actual game changer."
Um, Honestly, as cliche as it sounds, the pedal commander
Mm,
that has unlocked. I mean, it's such a stupid niche, like little addition, but it honestly just the throttle response
yeah.
that it just wakes up that 2.0 just a little bit more. And I don't ever keep it out of sport mode. It's always just in sport, I think +2. And
Yes.
I'm just like, good.
Okay. No, no, no. And honestly, I'm kind of with you on that because I've seen demonstrations of whatever, formula they have for how the throttle body plate itself actually opens in relation to the pedal sensor itself. It's so slow. It's so
Mhm.
bad. So I think more people should be running those, dude, whether it's a pedal commander or one of the other options out there. Dude, yeah, absolutely. Definitely a game changer.
Yeah, especially for a car with a CVT, it opens up
Mm,
the throttle just a little bit more.
yeah. Yeah. Because I like I said, I don't own anything with a CVT and I never have, but I think they sort of operate based off of your throttle, and how fast the throttle is applied. So I'd imagine that plays a big role in kind of how it shifts when it shifts, and that sort of thing. Was that kind of, did you experience any of that at all with it?
Yeah, a little bit. It definitely tends to shift a little bit quicker than it used to,
Okay.
especially in low RPMs. because as we know, Subarus like to scream with their CVTs up to 6K, and it's just like, oh, why are we doing this?
Clunk. Yeah.
Yeah. So thankfully, she doesn't do that anymore. So it's just like, it, the next car is not going to have a CVT. That's for sure.
Yeah, they got their pros and their cons, but there's a lot of cons when it comes to the stuff we're trying to do to them.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I wanted to ask, I think you touched on this a little bit. You said your fuel economy was somewhere around like, was it 14?
Give or take, yeah, 12 to 14.
Okay. Was there one thing that you did to the car where you saw the biggest drop in fuel economy?
It had to been when the bull bar got put on.
Gotcha.
The
Okay.
whole bull bar, and then the tire carrier really just kind of killed it, because it was kind of actually doing pretty decent when I had the lift and the tires on it only.
Okay.
And then when I started adding all this weight, it just started to get just sad, because it's just having to pull itself along. And
Yeah. And I've had the same experience. Anytime you interrupt the aerodynamic flow of how how the engineers created the front fascia to work, that's where I've seen the biggest cuts, man. Bumper cuts, aftermarket bumpers, anything where you're interrupting that's where I've seen the biggest decrease in fuel economy. It sounds like it was kind of the same.
yeah, very similar.
Anything with the roof rack, did you see a big decrease in any of the specific stuff you started carrying on the roof?
Well, when I had the spare tire up there, that was pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
That was atrociously bad. But anything other than that, no, not really. I mean, the wind noise, there's like none, 0 to none. I guess that's the same thing, but there's like no wind noise whatsoever, which is so lovely, because I was so worried about it. Just like, oh, this is going to whistle and I'm going to hate it. Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Dude, those spider no drill roof racks, I think those are sick. It's probably one of my favorite, like modular racks for our cars. Love them. If they made one for my car, I would probably run one for sure. I hate pulling headliners, but I would do it.
It's worth it. I have found that it is incredibly useful for many things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that. And then I wanted to ask you, do you think there's anything, I don't know how much you talk with, other people that are a little bit newer to the practice of throwing away money on off-road parts. But do you feel like, for example, I see a lot of people, they'll just go buy whatever lift kit and not know that they need like multi-link spacers or whatever. Is there anything that you run into that newcomers would probably easily overlook, or maybe even in your own, shopping process, that, it wasn't until after you had a little experience where you're like, I really need to add these to my build list?
I definitely experienced that after I lifted it the first time. I didn't realize that you had to drop the subframe down in the rear to even out the tire in the wheel well. And that's because I was constantly rubbing and I was tearing plastic off the car, and I was just like, I have no idea what's happening. And I did some research, and they were like, oh yeah, you need a subframe spacer kit.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay. I put that on and I was like mind blown that it made it so much better to just drive. Yeah. And I was just like, why did I do this sooner? That was a dumb idea, but
Yeah. And the sad part is, a lot of times people shop based off of, like price tag. And man, when you go on eBay and you see a kit for $120, it's hard to say no to that. But, the people selling those, they don't own Subarus. They don't build these kits. They don't design them. They just copy something and start selling it.
Right.
They don't even know that you need multi-link spacers, like the sellers of these kits. And yeah, I think that's where it really, really pays to do your research, and buy something from a company that knows what they're doing. I think the Ironman kits come with them. I'm guessing that if you got it off Facebook Marketplace, the guy might not have remembered to pull it off of his car. Right?
Possibly not. I did go backwards and I dropped the subframe when I put the first kit on.
Gotcha.
So I bought that through Crawford, and now looking back on it, I should have just gotten the Ironman with the subframe spacer kit altogether. But I went the piecemeal route. So
Yeah, that's one of the hard parts about, because I'm so stubborn, dude. I'll be like, I want to try something my way, and then I always end up spending the money to do it the right way.
sometimes it'd be like that, though. Sometimes it'd be like that.
Just got to take one for the team or for myself, because
Exactly.
nobody else is going to make the stupid decisions I've made. But it is what it is, man. And did you get any driveline shudder or vibration after you did the subframe drop at all?
Mm, no, not really. None that I noticed.
Okay. Yeah, I know that's like a hit or miss issue. Some people will never get it. Other people get it at stock height. And it's
Hmm.
like, I don't know if Subaru just doesn't do a good job, clocking and balancing their drive shafts or what. But, anytime you drop that rear subframe, you kind of change the angle of the drive
Right.
line. And no, I'm glad to hear you didn't have that issue, because no, thank you.
Yeah. I was like, oh, I didn't. No,
Yeah.
thankfully not.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah, it really does seem to be a hit or miss thing, and that's what I've heard from different company owners too. They're like, yeah, some people get it, some people don't. It's like a cold, you never know when it's going to show up. I,
Never know what you're gonna get.
yeah, my guess is Subaru. At the manufacturer, they probably have these specifications on how in or out of spec something can be and still function correctly, like within the OEM application. But I guess there's probably a threshold where once you start, just like with any mods, once you start messing with stuff,
Yeah, it all goes downhill.
opens up a can of worms, man. Holy fudge. Well, gosh dang it, dude. I've talked your ear off for 2 hours, brother. Is there anything I missed? Anything that you want to talk about that I didn't already side trail us on?
Ooh. I'm not quite sure. No, the list of events I'll be attending.
Yeah,
Hopefully Sunday, REI Co-op Subaru down in San Diego.
right on.
Subi Fest 2025. I'll be there as well. And for those of you that are at San Diego Comic Con, you would have seen me. And my car was showcased there for a little bit of time.
How did they do that? What was the premise of them doing it?
I was actually down there for work,
Mm-hmm.
and someone had caught, because there's millions of people. Well, not millions, but there's so many people, and everyone just stops and stares and takes pictures. So I left it just right in front of a building, and it just became its own thing. And everyone was like taking pictures, and I'm like, because I have all the rally stickers on it for Subi Fest, so I was just like, okay, yeah, this is cool. Just don't scratch it.
Don't scratch it. Those are mine to be had, you idiots.
Exactly. Those are my scratches.
If it's going to get scratched, I'm going to do it.
Exactly. Yeah, I think on my current Instagram story, if it's still up, you can see it being pulled around by the valet guy.
That's tight. Where was that event held at?
The San Diego Convention Center in downtown San Diego.
Okay. Yeah, I've actually never been to San Diego, man. No,
you got to come out,
dude. I should. I hear the weather's nice. Never too hot, never too cold. It's like nice, mild weather pretty much all year, right?
Pretty much all year, yeah.
Heck yeah.
Except for June gloom and May gray, then it becomes sad. But
hey man, I grew up on the west side of the Pacific Northwest, so I feel it, bro.
You get it.
Do you guys get like salt in the air there at all?
See, I live more inland, so definitely not. But right now, where I'm currently staying next to the beach, there's a lot of salt.
Okay.
And then in San Diego, there's definitely a lot of salt in the air too.
Okay. Yeah, I've always, where I grew up, I was maybe about an hour and a half drive from the Oregon coast, and I would drive around, and see all these cars are just like rusted out. Like, dude, what in the world?
It's like, how do you get there?
You'd be there for a weekend, you get home, you start seeing weird corrosion forming. You're like, oh, about to break out the rust cutter, get rid of that.
Yeah, cut it all off, get it out of here.
Dude, have you ever used that stuff, rust cutter?
I have not, no.
Bro, it's the jam. It's like one of my favorite, like best $50 I've ever spent for a big jug of that crap. I don't know how it's formulated, but I just use a paintbrush, and it's formulated to where it goes in and neutralizes the iron oxide. So it just turns it into this like weird, like inert, like black surface, and you just paint over it. It's literally my favorite thing. I love it.
That is wild. I've never heard of that.
Dude, it's like I said, it's literally one of the biggest cheat codes in keeping cars on the road, because my stuff is always getting banged into rocks and tons of paint missing on the undercarriage of all my cars. Every winter, like after because they salt the roads just a little bit here, and dude, get under there with a paintbrush, some rust cutter, boom, 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 like knock it out, wait for it to dry, hit it with some brake cleaner after that, and then bam, hit it with a rattle can and call it a day.
I've never heard. I'm gonna have to check that out.
Well, yeah, dude,
that's a good tip.
Okay, dude, it's literally the jam, and it doesn't. I've used other rust mitigators that they mess with the paint somehow. They like break down the paint. Never had a problem with this stuff damaging paint. Love it.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I'll have to send you a link to it. It's like I said, it's my little cheat code.
I love that. Yeah, that's useful. That's especially useful.
Yeah, especially when we're kicking gravel up at our cars. It's like, oh, I know that's gonna rust. Well, dang, dude, let me think here. Is there? Do you have any like affiliate deals, discount codes, anything you want to promote at all?
I guess I could. I have a couple sponsors. Okay. Shout out to Parent Automotive. Thank you very much for the sponsor. I do have a discount code. I don't remember what it is.
Do you have it in a link tree or anything on your Instagram?
It is. It's on, if you click the sponsors tab on my Instagram profile, you can find the code there.
Perfect.
Just a big, huge, major shout out to Hello Subaru of Temecula. You guys are awesome. Always will be. Always have been. I also got a shout out Scrappy's Tire and Automotive. They're small, they're mighty, but they know how to do suspension work, and I'm very grateful for their knowledge.
Love that.
I'm actively working on a couple other sponsorships. Trying to work on Falcon and O'Reilly Auto Parts right now.
The
biggest ones. Yeah.
I need to know Riley's sponsorship.
It's so useful. All those nights in my best friend's garage with O'Reilly's closing at 10 p.m. I spent so much money there.
Yes, dude. Seriously. Yeah, no, and I would encourage people too, like if he's talked about anything during this that you want to try out, go support the homie, man. We need to get people paid for their experience and for the, they're out here spending money on parts, doing all the testing, beating their stuff up. I'm so down with people getting compensated for their experience and their work. So yeah, I would love it if people would do that and show some support.
I appreciate it. Yeah. And if anyone ever has any questions, just hit up my DMs. I'm always about answering. And sometimes I'm never correct. So I'm definitely first to admit that.
Well, yeah, I live by that same rule. Hey, I don't know the answer. I'll figure it out.
Exactly. There's always an answer somewhere in there.
Yeah. And can you tell everybody what your Instagram is?
My Instagram handle is xtrek_Alice.
Perfect.
And I am verified. So if there's a spoof account,
don't trust those fools.
Don't trust them.
Heck yeah. And then you on YouTube or anything like that?
No, I don't do a whole lot. I'm barely on social media. Instagram is kind of like the one-stop shop for me.
Yeah.
It's healthier that way. It's when I got off of like TikTok and stuff like that. Oh my gosh. I was just like, dude, the freedom.
It's becoming a real thing, man. The whole like social media detox. I think we're finally coming to a point in, civilization where people are like, maybe we shouldn't be staring at our phones 23 hours a day. People will be waking up at 1 a.m. I got to check my Twitter.
It's like, oh no.
Yeah. Oh no, somebody said a mean thing about me online. Dude, I could give a fudge. Well, dude, thanks so much for doing this. I think we covered everything. If you think of anything, we'll do a 2.0. But man, we pulled the limo into the garage, man. Thank you so much for doing this. This was sick.
Yeah, thank you for having me, and thank you for starting a podcast. How awesome.
You know what? I hesitated for a long time. I was like, because I hate my speaking voice. I hate looking at myself. I hate editing video and having to look at myself all day, but I finally was like, I still want to get this info out here. And Raf over on the Subi and You podcast, I wasn't sure, like, is he going to feel like I'm stepping on his toes or whatever? He's been nothing but like just a major class act. He's like, oh, dude, hit me up if you got any questions and blah, blah, blah. So major shout out to Raf. He's such a good dude.
Would love to get on his podcast maybe someday.
Yeah. Well, let's see if we can make it happen.